Howdy freeze dryers, it's Brian with Retired at 40. Welcome back to the Live Life Simple Kitchen. Today I'm going to do a video that I've been getting a lot of requests for, and that would be alternative types of milk. And by alternative milks, I mean something that's non-dairy. There are so many really good choices now for alternative types of milk. There's a lot of types of nut milks, and today we're going to freeze dry all kinds of alternative milks, the most popular and the most common. There are several reasons why you would use an alternative milk. Some people have lactose problems. They have trouble digesting animal products. Some people just don't want to eat or drink animal products. And I think another big one for people is just the health benefits. All of the benefits that you get from cow's milk are now pretty much all incorporated into any of the alternative milks as well. But you're getting all those benefits with lower fat and less calories. All my choices for today are all original or unsweetened versions of these, and each one of these does have a sweetened or a flavored version, but I don't really like those because they tend to get really high in sugar and really just kind of defeats the purpose in my opinion. But today we're going to do some soy milk, we're going to do some coconut milk, almond milk, then we're going to do some oat milk, and then last we're going to do a blend of coconut almond milk. So I have labeled each one of my trays here. So you'll notice that I'm not doing cashew milk. I actually make my own cashew milk. I've made a video on that before, and I use freeze-dried cashew milk almost every single day in smoothies every morning. And I like using the tray dividers because it puts them into little portions, and I know how much of each portion I need to make my smoothie. So for me, it takes the guesswork out of it because you get a nice even portion. So you can take your portion and apply that to whatever your situation is as well. So I'm going to do the soy first inside just so I can make sure that this is going to fit onto the tray, and then we're going to fill up all the other trays out in the deep freeze because it's not a very easy task to carry a full tray of liquid out to the deep freeze or to the freeze dryer. So I'm actually not a huge fan of soy, but if you do use soy, then you'll know if it freeze dries okay after today. And it looks like we're gonna make it, but we are way full, and it looks like there's about 2 cups left in the carton, so 6 cups on the tray. I just don't think we want to fill it up any more than that. And to avoid a mess, I always use a funnel or just a large measuring cup, and then I dump it into the tray. While I have these all side by side too, I just want to glance at the ingredients to see if we're going to have any issues freeze drying any of these. So as far as I can tell, the only ones I think we might have some issues with are the coconut, which you can imagine just because it's sweet, and the oat milk. And both the coconut and the oat milk have added sugar. And other than that, I think we should be good for freeze drying. So let's go see if those are frozen. And they are very, very frozen. So if you have a minute, subscribe to the channel. And while you're there, click the bell to get notifications of future videos that come out. For us, that's every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. And if you found this video helpful or any of our other videos, it really helps out if you just give us a thumbs up. Just takes a second. Just press that thumbs up. Totally free, totally easy. Only takes a second of your time. And for more tips, tricks, answers to your questions, take a second and join the Facebook or the MeWe group. Our social media groups have lots and lots and lots of members that can answer questions, help out with problems, and a great place to share successes and failures. And we do a free giveaway almost every week for freeze drying gear and freeze drying related things on the group. So if you're thinking about purchasing a freeze dryer, use our affiliate link. It helps with those giveaways. It helps us develop new products in our store, freezedryingsupplies.com. So if you're looking for any of the products that you've seen in this video or other videos, those can be found at freezedryingsupplies.com. And I will see you when the freeze-dried milk is complete. All right, well that was a pretty long cycle in comparison to what we've been doing lately. It was just over 48 hours, and we'll see if that did the trick for all of our alternative milks. Here's our soy. It kind of almost has a tan tinge to it. It's very powdery, as well as the coconut is very powdery. And then this would be our almond coconut blend. our oat milk, and last is our almond. Okay, well at first glance I don't see any problems with any of it. I think it's going to store just fine. I'm going to go into ball jars. I very rarely go into ball jars anymore. I pretty much bag everything. But this type of stuff I do go into ball jars. I don't think the shelf life of anything that's a nut related, like a nut milk, is going to last you know, a really long time. And for me, I use at least a couple of these per day. So at that rate, this will last me, I don't know, a few months or something. So no reason to bag it up in my opinion. The ball jar, I just that way I can put a cap on it when I'm done with it. So I'm going to put these into jars and I will meet you upstairs and we'll do some rehydration. Also, our tray dividers did a really nice job. It gave us the cubes that we wanted to. And after I got putting these into a ball jar, I noticed that none of these really wanted to stay in that cube form very well, except for the soy. The soy milk did fine. And when I make homemade almond milk and homemade cashew milk, those seem to do really well too. I'm not really sure what the difference is between homemade and commercially made, besides the obvious. And I want to talk a little about the storage of all of this alternative milk. Being that most of these are a nut milk, or at least a few of them are, the long-term storage is not going to happen. There's too much oil in them. In fact, a lot of them are almost like a cotton candy type feel. They're real brittle, and that you can feel a little bit of stickiness to them, and that's just the oils and sugars, I would imagine. The two that I think would do the best for longer term, I would say, not long term, the oat milk, actually it seems like it's pretty good, and I think the soy milk would do the best. And from my experience from my homemade almond and cashew milk that I make, it lasts probably 2 to 3 months in a ball jar. And I'll put a link right up here, and then I'll put a link down in the description as well for that video that I made a while back on almond and cashew milk. And then I just want to give you a close-up on everything one last time before we rehydrate. There's our soy, our coconut, that is our almond coconut blend, oat milk, and finally our almond. And consistency of all of this is very similar. I'm going to hit each one with a coffee frother for about 30 seconds. And you can see all of them did really well. So I think if I were going to do best to worst, I would go soy, and then the oat, the almond, and then the coconuts are, the blend and the coconut milk are, they're just not going to do well. They're already getting soft and kind of spongy just from being in a ball jar just for a little bit. As for rehydration, these all do really well, and your rehydration is going to depend on what type of milk you choose, and the portions that you want. It should be simple enough for you to figure out. In the meantime, this is Retired at 40. Remember to live life simple. We'll catch you next week.